There is a massive narrative being spun right now coming out of CES. If you read the mainstream financial news, the story is that the walls are finally closing in on Tesla. We have Nvidia announcing a new AI brain that supposedly makes legacy auto competitive overnight. We have Uber partnering with Lucid to build a robotaxi fleet. And we have Hyundai's Atlas robot doing parkour while Elon stays silent. The bears are saying this is the end of Tesla's tech lead. But here is the irony. If you actually listen to the engineering details hidden in this announcement, especially from Nvidia, they didn't kill Tesla. They just vindicated them. Jensen Huang effectively went on stage and admitted that the strategy Tesla has been betting the company on for 5 years is the only way to solve autonomy. Today, we are going deeper. We are not just reacting to headlines. We're looking at the math and the strategy. We're going to break down why Nvidia's end-to-end announcement proves Elon was right, the Intel inside trap that Ford and Mercedes just walked into, why the Lucid Uber deal is a logistical nightmare, and why that Hyundai robot is impressive engineering, but is playing in a different league than Optimus. So buckle up, because the mainstream media completely missed the point on this one. To understand why the CES news is so misunderstood, we have to step back and look at how we got here. We need to talk about the difference between code and brains. For the last decade, the entire autonomous driving industry, including Tesla prior to V12, was built on a massive rulebook written in C++ code. Think of it like teaching a teenager to drive by handing them a dictionary of every possible thing that could happen on Earth. If the light is red, then stop. If a ball rolls into the street, then brake. If a grandma is walking a dog on a rainy Tuesday, well, you get the point. Tesla had over 300 lines of this code. It works great for highway driving, but in the city, it's a disaster. You cannot code every edge case. Reality is too chaotic. This is why FSD V12 was such a massive deal. Tesla deleted the 300,000 lines of code. They threw away the rulebook and switched to end-to-end neural networks. This means photons in, controls out. The cameras see the world, the data goes into the neural net, and the neural net decides how to steer the car. No human wrote a line of code telling the car what a stop sign means. The car learned it by watching millions of humans drive. When Tesla made this switch, the industry called them reckless. They said you can't rely on a black box AI. They said you need LiDAR. They said you need HD maps. Which brings us to Nvidia's announcement at CES. Enter Jensen Huang. He takes the stage to announce Nvidia Alpamayo. And how does he describe it?
Alpamayo is trained end to end, literally from camera in to actuation out.
Does that sound familiar? Well, it should. It's exactly what Tesla V12 is. Nvidia, the premier AI computing company in the world, just confirmed that the only way to achieve autonomy is the way Tesla is already doing it. The debate is over. LiDAR is a crutch. HD maps are a crutch. End-to-end AI is the solution. But here is where the Tesla is doomed narrative falls apart. If the solution is neural nets, then the fuel for that engine is data. Not just any data. High quality real world driving videos. When Jensen talked about the real world training data for Alpamayo, he stumbled. He said, and I quote, lots and lots of miles.
The camera in, lots and lots of miles that are driven by itself, where we human drive it, driven using human demonstration. And we have lots and lots of miles that are generated by Cosmos.
Here's the reality check. Nvidia is a chip company. They do not own a fleet of cars. They rely on simulation and test fleets. Tesla has over 6 million cars on the road. Even if only a fraction are sending back data, that is billions of miles of edge cases. Snow in Norway, construction in New York, kangaroos in Australia. This is the data moat. For Nvidia to train Alpamayo, they need data from their partners, Mercedes, Hyundai, Ford. But think about how messy that is. A Mercedes has different cameras than a Ford. The sensors are in different spots. The video compression is different. Trying to train a unified AI model on fragmented data from 10 different car manufacturers is an engineering nightmare. Tesla controls the hardware, the software, and the data pipeline. That vertical integration isn't just a cost saver, it's the only reason their AI can learn so fast. There is another business angle here that nobody is talking about: the commoditization of the car. If Mercedes, BMW, and Ford all buy their self-driving stack from Nvidia, how do they differentiate? If the car drives itself, the ultimate driving machine slogan is dead. The driving experience becomes defined by the software. If the software is provided by Nvidia, then Mercedes just becomes our hardware shell. They are the Dell computer to Nvidia's Windows. And we all know who makes the money in that relationship. It's the software provider. By adopting Nvidia's stack, Legacy Auto is outsourcing their future. They are admitting they cannot build the most critical part of the car. They are handing the keys to Jensen Huang. Tesla, meanwhile, owns the stack. They own the silicon, they own the software, they own the customer experience. That is a difference in valuation in trillions of dollars over the next decade. Now, let's talk about the second announcement that supposedly threatens Tesla: the Lucid, Nuro, and Uber partnership. The headline sounds scary. Uber launches Robotaxi fleet with Lucid. But let's take a look at the players here. Lucid is a company fighting for survival, burning cash, and desperate to sell cars. Nuro is a company that spent years trying to make little toaster ovens on wheels deliver groceries and is now pivoting because that didn't scale. Uber sold their own self-driving divisions years ago because it was too hard. And the vehicle? The Lucid Gravity? Uber's head of autonomous mobility claimed this vehicle was built from the ground up for robotaxi. I'm sorry, but that's laughable. The Gravity is a massive, luxury, three-row, six-passenger SUV. Let's look at the economics. Ride-hailing statistics show that over 80% of trips are for one or two passengers. Why would you deploy a $80,000 plus heavy six-passenger SUV to carry one person to the airport? The energy efficiency is terrible. The tire wear is terrible. The unit economics don't work. Compare this to Tesla's strategy: a dedicated, purpose-built robotaxi. Two seats, no steering wheel, lightweight, cheap to build. Tesla is optimizing for cost per mile. Lucid and Uber are optimizing for press release to boost their stock price. Furthermore, this is the too many cooks problem again. Lucid builds the car, Nuro builds the driver, Uber builds the app. Who is liable when it crashes? Who fixes the sensors? Who owns the customer data? Tesla does all three. That speed of execution is something a three-way partnership can never match. Finally, we have to address the robot in the room: the new Hyundai and Boston Dynamic Atlas. I saw an article on electric by Fred Lambert. And look, I respect Fred's history covering EVs, but this take was wild. The headline implied Elon is silent on Atlas because he's scared, and that there is no evidence Tesla has a lead in humanoids. Let's clear this up with some basic manufacturing logic. The new Atlas is incredible. It's an engineering marvel, but look closely. Boston Dynamics is a research company. They build robots that dance and do parkour. Tesla is a manufacturing company. They build products. For a long time, Atlas used hydraulics. It was heavy, loud, and leaked fluid. The new one is electric, sure, but think about the supply chain. Tesla designs their own actuators. They design their own battery packs. They design their own motors. They are most likely using the same supply chain for Optimus that they use for the Model Y. Musk isn't trying to build a robot that can do a backflip. He is trying to build a robot that costs $20,000 and can work a 16-hour shift in a factory. Oh, and the evidence of Tesla's lead isn't in the gymnastics, it's in the brain. Tesla is taking the FSD computer, the same one processing lanes in cars, and putting it in a robot. It's the same neural net architecture. Hyundai and Boston Dynamics have to build that brain from scratch or rely on Google DeepMind. So saying Tesla has no lead because they didn't post a video of a backflip is missing the forest for the trees. All right, so let's wrap this up. CES is a trade show. It's designed to generate hype. But if you look past the flash and the fog machines, the story remains the same. Nvidia proved Tesla's end-to-end theory is correct, but they lack the data to deploy it quickly. Legacy auto is walking into a trap where they become hardware shells for big tech, and the competitors are forming desperate partnerships to try and replicate what Tesla has built in-house for a decade. I don't think these announcements bankrupt Tesla. I think they prove that the moat is wider than ever. But I want to know what you think. Is the Lucid Uber Nuro partnership actually a genius move that I'm missing? Is Nvidia going to steal the crown because their chips are just that good? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one of them. If you enjoyed this reality check, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more no nonsense Tesla analysis. Talk to you soon. Ciao.